I have made the mistake of not looking at venues, and every time I didn't, it bit me in the Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Chantel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you came back after seeing my first YouTube video, I don't know why, but welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Chantel. I am the owner-founder of ChantellyLace Designs. I do digital marketing, graphic design, typography, social media marketing, and event coordinating. Event coordinating is more my specialty, and everything else I just kind of fell in love as I was doing event coordinating. I do a lot, but I absolutely love what I do. I've been doing it for years, and I am finally getting up the courage after many years to share my knowledge on YouTube because I find it so terrifying to put yourself out there. I wanted to really try to share this knowledge because a lot of times companies will ask their assistants or somebody else to plan an event that's never planned it. So hopefully walking you through some of these tips and tricks that I could provide helps someone out there. If you have any questions about event coordinating, about the graphic design industry, about social media, just leave a comment below. I would love to hear what you would like to know. And if I absolutely have an answer or the knowledge, I am more than happy to share it. Anyways, let's get started into this video. I wanted to do a video that I have actually recorded 2 other times. I wanted to go over what exactly you need to know before you book your ideal venue. There are little things you're going to need to know, and hopefully what all of this information does is narrow down this pool. So you don't want to have a huge pool of like 100 places. I mean, it's always good to have some type of variety, but having 100 places, it's going to be a lot to go if you want to go visit them all. Kind of have a narrowed down list of probably like, I think 10's a good number of venues. And hopefully within those 10, you will find that perfect venue that can accommodate all of these needs. So the first thing you're going to need to know before booking your venue is, how many guests are you going to have? Are you going to have 10 guests, 100 guests? That is definitely going to affect your venue options because venues can only hold a certain amount of people, whether it's 50 people or 2,000 people. Obviously, it's really going to impact your options when it comes to venues. Also, how you don't want to have a venue that is too small for your guest count. You don't want a venue that's going to be too large for your guest count. You don't want to have a venue that could hold 1,000 people, but only have a group of 50 that show up there. It's going to be a lot of space unless maybe you're doing something where you need to take up a lot of space with decoration or you're making like a big maze or something. There are reasons for it, but usually you don't want a space that's going to be too big because it's just going to look awkward and really going to affect your like ambiance a little bit. It's awkward. Let's be real. It's just awkward. Nobody likes to be awkward. Maybe. So this next one, you don't really need to know. It's kind of optional, but it will really help you, is what is your theme for your event? So this can be either like a luau themed or a disco themed. If you want to do like a disco, maybe like a roller rink would be cool. If you want to do a luau theme, maybe a beach is going to be really nice if you have that accessible, or it will just kind of help you know what type of layout, I guess you could say, or what you need to have to come with the event, with the theme. So it's just really going to help you along the way, just knowing what your theme is. Now, if you don't know what your theme is, at least kind of know what you're going to want to have incorporated with your event. An example of this is my husband and I really wanted to have a redwood tree at our wedding. We both grew up in Northern California. We love the going into the redwoods, hiking up there, camping up there. If you've never seen the California redwoods, they are so amazing. And we really wanted to have redwood trees in our wedding photos. So a venue that had access to redwood trees very nearby was really important to us. Now, I know a lot of these are going to have to affect for indoor and outdoor, but I'm going to kind of go over indoor and outdoor, the separation a little later, because there is going to be a significant mindset when it comes to booking either one. Next thing you're going to really need, and this is a big one, is what is your budget? Venues come at a price. That's the way it is. They're renting out the space for you to use. Now, there are venues that can work with you on the price. That makes sense. They don't have to. They could absolutely stick to whatever price they have. But sometimes they are able to work with you. So just kind of see where your budget is. If something is a little bit out of your budget, I wouldn't say no to it. I would say maybe keep that as a backup one. So maybe if your first 8 that you didn't like, this venue is a little bit outside your budget, but if it has everything you needed, maybe they could work with you on that price. Like I said, they don't have to, but almost everyone that I've worked with in event wise has always been willing to help me out when my budget is a little tight. If they can't, they can't. But knowing what your budget is, kind of keep in mind that you're going to need to keep your event price in that budget. Also, keep in mind that food and banquet food, event food is very expensive. So there's going to be different things that are going to need to tie into your budget. So while you have the venue, you're also going to need to think of food and decoration, lighting, sound system if you need it, music service if you need. There's a lot of components that go into an event. There's some things that you'll need to talk to your vendor about. I'll probably do another video later on about what the next step is after you found the perfect venue. What are things kind of to keep in mind? Another big one is, what is your date? If you don't know your exact date, at least have an idea of like season time frame. Some venues do not work in certain seasons. Some might only be available to rent a few weekends a year. And having kind of a date in mind will let you know if that venue is available for that date. Keep in mind, weekends are usually the busier time for events. Spaces can be a little bit cheaper on their off season as well as off days on the week as well. So if their main clientele is during the weekdays, their weekends will probably be a little cheaper. If their main clientele is on the weekends, that means their weekdays will be a little cheaper. So keep in mind, there's going to be some of them will have kind of a price range of where their off season and their busy season is, or off days during the week or even month and their busy days during the week or the month. Before you actually book the venue, it is also going to be important, and it's going to tie into your budget and especially your dates, is what is their vendor restrictions. So some venues will only work with certain companies. So even if they have a preferred vendors list is optional pretty much. So it's just like vendors that they work with regularly, that they recommend, that know their layout, that know what they need to bring to their space to work, and hasn't had nothing but great service with. That's what a preferred vendor list is, but those are pretty much optional. And some venues will have, like, that preferred vendor list is not optional. Some will only have a specific contract with another vendors. Like, it's just this partnership that they have, and that's absolutely something they can do. So keep that in mind, is maybe there's one catering company that they're going to have to work with, because that's a price that you can't negotiate with, that's a price you can't shop around with. And that's something that you're going to probably need to ask. They don't really have this information on their website usually. I absolutely recommend having questions written down before you go visit a venue or before you talk to a vendor. They expect you to have questions. That's the whole point of these meetings, to ask them questions. And, just really keep that in mind, because also you need to make sure those other vendors they work with, have the dates available and can absolutely fit within your budget. So keep that in mind when it comes to booking your venues, that their vendor list might be negotiable and it might not be negotiable. And that's up to the vendor. Something that you're also going to need to ask the venue is, what do they offer in their packages? So some venues will already have tables, chairs, decorations, wait staff, everything like that already tied within their package. An example of this is, I think it's called Wedgwood Weddings. Hold on, I'm gonna Google. Yes, so it's called Wedgwood. So Wedgwood is a wedding company, a wedding mainly coordinating company that has a lot of contracts with a lot of venues. like I said, my husband and I are from Northern California, so this was in Northern California, and I think I saw some of these in like Southern California too. So, anyways, but they have packages that include everything for the wedding, and that's the cake, the flowers, the wait staff, the lighting, like everything's already included with that venue. But the venue that my husband and I picked actually didn't come with tables and chairs. We had to rent those out through our catering company. So it just goes with what you want. The thing that's nice about the companies that have um, everything all together within their venue is that it's all pretty much going to be a smooth sailing event coordinating process. Everything is going to be on there. I think the package itself comes with a coordinator that kind of works with everyone for you. So it's going to be a lot easier and streamlined, a lot better for you, especially if you're not used to event coordinating. The bad part is you don't really get your say in every vendor that you work with for your events, which some people are totally fine with. My husband and I have obviously had to shop around for all of our vendors. That was it. That's what we were fine with. That's what we wanted to do. But just keep in mind, they have their pros and their cons, right? Next thing is indoor and outdoor. Now, this is a huge one to really consider because it can absolutely affect your event. Obviously, indoor is going to be a bit easier. You don't have to really worry about a plan B, nothing, unless, as heaven forbid, like a natural disaster happens or something, right? But you don't have to worry about heavy winds, rains, right? You don't have to worry about any of that nonsense because it's all indoors. But if you really want outdoors, you're going to need to consider a couple things. And again, these are things that you can ask the actual venue. You absolutely are going to need to take into weather. Weather is absolutely uncertain. I think the week up to my wedding, it was every other day. It would say it was raining on my wedding day, and it wasn't raining. And then the next day, it'd say it was. But since we knew that we were having an outdoor wedding, we asked all of the wedding venues, "What's your plan B in case it rains?" And what this place was that we would have to rent a tent. And so we knew that was going to be a chance. It just happened that we had to rent a tent. It's okay to have want an outdoor event. Like, I absolutely think that's totally fine, but you're going to need to keep in mind that maybe the outdoor event might not be perfect for your setting. So, for example, if I was going to have a casino at an event, I wouldn't have it outside. I would have it inside because you're going to have cards and chips and I don't know, whatever else, like money or whatever. If you're going to have a casino outside, it's just too unpredictable for me. I would absolutely try to push my client to have it indoors. But again, if you really want it outdoors, that is okay. Just have a plan B. Keep in mind, you might need tents, and that's okay if you still want it outdoors with tents. You can get the tents that have the sidewalls on it. Totally okay. Just really, really keep in mind, outdoors, always have a plan B. My last thing, and this is so important, I have made the mistake of not looking at venues, and every time I didn't, it bit me in the it bit me hard. Always, 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 always go and look at the property. If you can, go and look at the exact event space. Don't just go by what the person on the phone says, because yes, they'll tell you exactly what the layout is, or they'll answer your questions, but they don't know exactly what your vision is. Only really you know what your vision is, right? You know what you need for the event. You know what you want to have, what you don't want to have, what you need, what you don't want to need. You need to know if is it ADA accessible, if what is their plan if there's a hill, like what if you have people who are ADA and can't go up that hill, what's their plan, what's their backup. You're going to really want to make sure you see the actual venue. I can't express this enough. Pictures will not tell you the truth of how it looks. Only your eyes can. Really go and make sure you book an appointment, go check out the venue, go talk to the person in charge of the venue. Remember, it's okay to ask questions. Every event coordinator expects it, and find that perfect event for you. Hopefully, by the end of all of this, you'll have your perfect venue picked out for your event. I hope this video helped you. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the end. Again, my name is Chantel. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, if you want to see a specific video. I am all happy to help. I want to actually help you.